Hey, I think I know somebody like looks like this. Sucks to be you. Anyway, alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god extreme, Peter Joseph here. Hot and heavy, like today's weather. Back again with another video on this hot and heavy Wednesday afternoon, June the 18th, 2025. Thanks for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there inside of my pants. It's there, trust me. On this channel and my other channels as well, show your love and support. We're getting close to the quarter mark of our road to 900 subscribers. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get there by the end of the summer, but we'll see what happens with that, as summer's about to start on Friday, and it's gonna get hot here in New York City next week. 100 degrees on Tuesday in the shade. Oh, you gotta love it. So, ladies, you know what to do. Go to the beach with those tatas, those thong bikinis. Those are going to her moo-moo. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't wear a moo-moo. I'm just kidding. She doesn't. She wears a nice bathing suit. Let's just put it that way. But, I'll be in my nice bathing suit, showing off my muscles, because you know you love it. Right, ladies? And your moms love it, too. It's a fact. But, yeah, I'm going to hit the beach this summer. Probably by the end of next month, actually. Can't wait for that. But it is hot and heavy, like my channels. So subscribe to this channel, my channels, all down there in the gobbledygook. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, well, you're pretty much SOL. And you know what that means. Ha! And if you do miss a video, we're going to bury you in the sand, and you'll never get out. And I'm not talking sand, I'm talking quicksand. But I digress on that. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the video if you like, and do all that other good shit I talked about. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, and grab yourself a cold one, like this little Coke Zero I got here. Or whatever you're going to be drinking tonight, or today, or tonight, whenever. Sit back, relax, put your stinky feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great, half. And that's that. Alrighty, been a little while since I've done the videos. I've been taking some time off here and there, just to recharge the batteries a little bit. I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of things, as this weekend passes, and, with the hot weather coming, I want to enjoy my life and enjoy the summer, which starts on the weekend. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend plans with great summer weather. It's going to be hot. Go to the beach, go to whatever the fuck I feel like it. Because I have a life and you motherfuckers don't. And that's a fact too. But enjoy the weekend, enjoy the start of summer. And tomorrow is Juneteenth. Some African American holiday that we don't give two fucks about. It's just an off day. So if you have, it's just an off day, and then we go back Friday. Unless you have the day off Friday and Saturday and Sunday, unless you have the day off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have a great weekend. Sadly, I have to go on Friday, but I got tomorrow off, so I'm happy. Just some random random holiday that's on the calendar. We call it Juneteenth. I don't know I care less what it's about. I think it's an African-American holiday, but big fuck up. It's an off day for me, but anyway, it's an off day for you, and it's an off day for everybody else, so enjoy the off day tomorrow, you fuckers. And that's that. Quickly, I want to congratulate again the Florida Panthers for two-time repeating as the Stanley Cup champions, once again beating the Edmonton Oilers. Big fucking whoop! Well, there's one good thing about it. The Pacers might be going sayonara pretty soon. I think Oklahoma City's up 3-2 in the NBA Finals, so we'll see what happens with that. Whatever that game is, might be tonight or whenever. But we got that, and some sad news in the world of cooking, and I like to watch the Food Network. Chef Anne Burrell has passed away. She passed away yesterday at the tender age of 55. So not a spring chicken, if you think, you know what I mean. So just a sad report that I'm not going to do a video about it, even though I religiously watch the Food Network, you know, just to pick up on some recipes to give it to the missus. Like, hey, go make this for me. Go make a nice chicken parmesan, but differently, you know, stuff like that. Go make me a nice big steak. Like, give me some emu or some shit, you know. Emu tastes like chicken. But doesn't everything taste like chicken? Well, except, you know, except the pussy, that tastes like fish. It'll smell like fish, but taste like chicken. Right, Richie? Okay. If you haven't seen the Bomber, you don't get that reference. But in any case, we move on with that. But, you know, it's been a weird week. I mean, it's already at the midpoint of the week, midpoint of the month. We got about a week and change left of June. Then we start the great big fireworks month of July. And 4th of July weekend coming away 2 weeks from Friday. We also got that. And also other big news I want to just briefly, I was going to do a video about it, but I'll briefly say it here. SmackDown is finally ending their 3-hour tour next week. Thank the Lord. July 4th we'll go back to 2 hours, hopefully forever. No more 3-hour shows because it puts us to sleep. I know my videos might do that to you, but I'm used to watching it. It is what it is. But, you know, great for SmackDown going back to 2 hours. So we can get some sleep finally. You know, we have to stay up till 11 o'clock. We're half dead. We got that. We got AEW Grand Slam Mexico S.A. You know, my good buddy. Buenos dias, everybody! It is I, El Janito S.A. I want you to know to please watch Grand Slam Mexico with all my muchachos, all my great friends in Mexico. Oh, the señorita is going to be there too. I'm going to go, ay, 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 ay. Watch now! Yay! You know who's also going to be there? Osito. Ah! He hates that guy. He religiously hates Osito. Big ups to my good buddy Osito. Good man. But we move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got AEW tonight. Should be a good show. Back to 2 hours, thank the Lord. And we got Collision this Saturday. Not that anybody cares about that, but, you know. But kind of back to normal for AEW. But I am going to be doing that video about Jon Moxley getting sued. So we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. So it'll be like not a follow-up, but like a, you know, I'm late for the party kind of thing. But like I always am. So I'm gonna give my thoughts about the AEW getting sued by this idiot cameraman. Just for money, he wants the money. It's all about the money, as Vince would say. But that's all it is. You know, Tony Khan, and, you know, he's gonna say, just giving us money, shut the fuck up. So we'll see what happens with that, and a whole lot more coming up the rest of this week. But before we get to anything, before we even get to Dynamite tonight, let's talk about last night. And it is time, my friends, for your official WWE NXT on the CW11 review. Alright, for last night, June the 17th, 2025. And as always, we're at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, as always, our commentary team of the man with the creepy jacket, lots of candy, Vic Joseph. I don't know how he got on the plane, but he was on Raw. Corey Slave must have got the red eye. I think Carmella said her second kid with him is gonna be, I think it's gonna be a boy. I don't know. I didn't even read the entire article. I hope it's, you know, for Corey's sake, I hope it's a boy, but, you know. It's a boy! Freddy Krueger reference, which one? You should find out. It's a boy! Alright, so we got that. And the man who smokes more fucking weed than you, and probably me, too. The two-time Hall of Famer, the man who loves Stephanie Verker's ass religiously, and that's the Kool-Aid Man himself. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. Booker T, sucker. All right, so let's get into this shindig. Let's not waste any more time because I got other things to do. Alright, so we're about a month away from the Great American Bash, the same day and time as All In, so WWE's trying to just swallow up All In. We got Saturday Night's main event right after All In. And that's gonna have a big match. I'll spoil a little bit for my Raw review. Goldberg! Yeah, Goldberg in his final match. Well, he challenged Walter, our Raw World Champion, for the title at Saturday Night's main event in Atlanta, GA. Bad Street, Atlanta, GA! Doom, doom, doom. I think that's where, Evolution's gonna be. And I think the Great American Bash is in Atlanta, too, so I don't know. I think all those shows are in Atlanta, so we'll see what happens with that. And we saw last week the Femi. You know, he got beat up by Jasper Troy in the parking lot. Got put through the windshield of his rental car, real glass by the way. And then he comes back all taped up, and somehow, some way, he beats Jasper to retain the NXT title. And a whole lot more last week with, the women going there. You know, it's like, the women all fighting just to get a shot at JC Jane. Oh, sorry. JC Jane! So then Ava Raine, no relation to JC Jane, but Ava makes an 8-woman tournament where the winners will fight next week in a fatal 4-way match, and the winner of that goes to Evolution to fight JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. So it was ladies' night, and we felt alright. Yeah, pretty much everything was, the ladies, except for maybe 1 or 2 matches with the men. But most of the show was dedicated to the ladies, the sexy ladies that we all know and love. Alright, so let's get into that. Alright, so we start off with, speaking of, JC Jane, with a fiery promo. She's about being unhappy over being called the most beatable champion in NXT. Well, yeah, she beat one person, Lainey Reed from Evolve. Well, she got lots of challengers, looking at her. But anyway, so as a result, like I said, the tournament began last night, and the winner gets a shot at Evolution. Alright, so we start off with the first Eliminator match. We have the crazy woman who smokes almost as more weed than Booker T. That's the crazy bitch, Thea Hale. She takes on Maiko Jada. Parker! You gotta love her. Was a pretty decent match. Not gonna go through all of it, as I always want to give you my thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. Pretty much a back and forth match. Thea gave it all, locked in the Kimura lock on Jada. But Jada got out of it and sends Thea to the floor, and then Jada tries to send Thea into the steps, but Thea ran right into the steps. Ow! As we go to break, we come right back. Jada goes with Hypnotique and missed, which allowed Thea to grab the Kimura lock again. Jada was trying to get out of it so much, but finally she powered up using her Super Cena strength to drive Thea into the corner, but Thea kept it on. And then we see that Jada did tap, but the referee didn't see it. Where were you looking at? Besides her hot ass. So Thea's like, yeah, I won! The referee's like, no, you didn't win, bitch! And then Thea's like, what? And then she turned around, boom! Hypnotique! Jada Parker gets the win, and she's the first participant in that Fatal 4-Way match next week. So a little bit of ref chicanery, you know, what are you going to do? A win is a win in my book. You know, kind of taking a page from my book, but, you know, great job, Jada. Love you. But, anyway, good match. A little over 9 minutes. And I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. That's that. Alright, then we go to the back, where we have the Cowboys. They're not going to be doing some cowboy shit, like Adam Page would do. Josh Briggs and the legend Yoshiki Inamura. They're there with another cowboy, Elijah. Who wants to walk with Elijah? Do you want to walk with Elijah? Who wants to walk with the prophecy? Everybody does. Everybody. Who's better than Canyon? No. Big ups to Chris Canyon. You great man up there. Hey, by the way, Chris. No, not you, Candido. I love you too, but, you know, hold on. Mr. Canyon, yeah, you, fake diamond cutter guy. Can you please do me a favor and take care of my girl, Daphne? She's doing good? She's good? Hey, girl! What's going on, girl? Mwah, mwah, I love you. Yeah, I miss you too. I miss you too. You have fun up there. Be safe, okay? And Chris, don't you try anything with my girl. I'll fuck you up. I'll get Mike Awesome after you. Don't do it. You say my name? Yeah, Chris Canyon's gonna get with my girl, my girl's, you know my girl. What girl? You got like 6 million girls, Joseph. What the fuck is wrong with you? I meant Daphne. I couldn't get her name out of my mouth. You remember Canyon? Oh yeah, Chris, remember when I threw you off the Triple Cage Tower of Doom and I broke your fucking back? Cause I'm awesome! Fucker! Okay, Mike, calm down. Chris, you go in the corner and shut up. And sweetheart, I love you. We always had to pay homage to Daphne. Shannon, we have to. It's coming up on, I think, 5 or 6 years since her death. Damn. Coming up in September. Her birthday's coming up too, I think. So, what could have been? I miss her every day. I'm gonna cry. I'm getting verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Why is the prophecy so great? Discuss. I'm sorry. Anyway, me move on. Alright, so, Josh Briggs, Yoshiki Inamura, and Elijah are there. In the back, ready to beat up First Class and Trick Willie Shamon, the TNA champ. So, Casey Navarro, who's hurt, I think, with a shoulder and knee injury. And Flop Dollar, AJ Francis, they come in. Actually, they don't come in yet. So they're there to talk about that. And then Elijah goes to get ready for the 6-man tag team match later on. And then Hank and Spank, still the tag team champions, they come in and say, hey, you know, since we did our business, you did your business, you guys get a title shot. Well, they didn't even earn it that much, but okay. So they get their title shot. Hopefully they win, because I'm getting sick of Hank and Spank anyway. Alright, so they're talking, and then, yeah. And then the Ruda, Oba, Hoo, Femi comes in, and then gets into a stare down with Trick Willie. Oh boy. I wonder what's gonna happen now. Alright, so we got that. So I give that 3 out of 5 stars. Let me move on. Alright, then we get a video for Blake Monroe, Mariah May. She's in her bedroom looking for the perfect dress to wear, and she picked out this amazingly short black skirt with a garter on her leg. Titties popping out. I had to take off my pants because my dick was about to explode. Holy shit. Hi, Mariah. Blake. I like her entrance. It's like a I Dream of Jeannie type entrance, without her coming out of a genie bottle, which would be nice. She should just use, I'm a genie in a bottle, you gotta rub me the right way. You know, Christina Aguilera. That would be hilarious if she came out to that. And who thought that Hunter couldn't get mellow? He got that garbage, garbage themes from, what's it called, Def Rebel shit. He's got a couple of bangers from great bands like Code Orange. We need more metal, Hunter! More metal! Not Def Rebel garbage, please. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, so Blake finds her perfect dress, a perfect black dress for her contract signing, and we'll see that at the end of the show. But she looked amazing. Alright, then we get to Eliminator, the women's Eliminator number 2. We have Lash Legend, my girl Lash Legend, and she gets shit done. Well, she was looking amazing as well. She takes on another piece of ace, and that's Kaylani Jordan. This was a pretty good match, 10-minute match. Back and forth they went. Lash with the Argentine backbreaker. Keeps Kaylani in trouble, but Kaylani manages to escape with a code breaker, somebody called Jericho. Hey, Jericho lost weight, I heard. What, are you on the vegan diet now, Chris? Because how much did he weigh last time we saw him? Like 245, 250? He was fat. He was like, his stomach looked like he ate 55 hamburgers. And maybe like 6,000 of these. Well, this is Coke Zero. This is 0 calories, but... Yeah, but he lost a little bit of weight going on tour, huh? That's what you know. Go to the gym. There, Chris. You know, and then make a little Fosse record while you're at it. Why not? He looks in great shape, too. Finally, for a guy that's like 54 years old. I'm not even 50, and I'm not even in that much great shape, but I'm in shape. You know, I got a few ailments on me. You know, my neck, my back. I feel like singing that song. My neck, my back, and my crack. I don't know if ladies want to do that, but... Hey, if ladies want to lick the, you know, the shit pipe... Not the shit pipe. Oh, the shit hole, basically. I mean, go for it. It's nasty. You know, I've seen some porn that with women that do that shit. Ugh. I need some Aquafresh, toothpaste, and some mouthwash. Stat! I would never let a woman do that to me. That is nasty. God forbid some guy farts. I've seen a porn where the woman is like licking the guy's taint and around it, like giving him a rim job basically. And next thing you know, I'm like, damn! Good thing he didn't shart on her face or shit. Ugh, that would have been nasty. It's even worse when you know women have this fetish of getting peed on. They're in that position, you know, when the guy's about to, you know, shoot his load. And then next thing you know, they're on their hands and knees like, give me that pee. I'm like, no. I know, Kazumi, you do that shit, that's nasty, but I love you. I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm just gonna fuck you so hard, you're gonna be going, me love you long time. Gotta love those Asian chicks. But there's some of them are weird. She is weird. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, getting on with with a lady. That's fine by me, but, you know, splash on me later. But, I mean, that shit with, you know, with getting pee right in your mouth, like, where's that been? That pee is a little dirty, Mr. Legal. Would you like a little pee with your tea? No. No, thank you. No, thank you. None of that. No rim jobs. None of that. I mean, you can lick my taint, but that's fine and dandy for me, but... No butthole. That's nasty shit. Ugh. I'm sorry, I just wasted your time and make you puke. He's gonna they're gonna puke! They're gonna puke, they're gonna puke! Good. Choke on it. I'm kidding. Where am I? I don't know. I'm going wild. Alright, so anyway, where was I? So Kehlani, got out of trouble with the Codebreaker. Then she nails another kick, nips up with sliced bread. I don't know, number 1 or number 2? Number 1? Number 1? I order you to take a number 2. Aye, Captain. Anyway, and, she sets up for the 5-star frog splash, made famous by her mentor, Rob Van. Damn, I forgot to pull out a 2 with Katie Forbes. Yeah, Katie Forbes and RVD having a baby. It should have been me. And by the way, thank you, Katie, for the comment. Love you on Twitter. But I digress. They love me everywhere. On Twitter, on Instagram. Even in real life. All of them love me. Anyway. Alright, so she hits that for 2. Then she goes for another RVD move. One of a kind! That gets broken up. And Lash tries a belly-to-back superplex. But that gets reversed into a high cross body by Kehlani in midair. That was nice. Impressive. So she hits that. Goes up top. Goes for the 450. Lash got her knees up. Then she hits that over-the-back face plant. Nasty. So she goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Lash Legend becomes entrant number 2 in this tournament. So Jada's in. Lash is in. Now we got 2 more left. So lots of booty in that match. All booty all the time on this episode of NXT. You gotta love it. We move on. Alright, so I get a match 2.5 out of 5 stars. Moving on. If we can. If we can. Here we go. Okay. Where are we? Here. Alright. Move on. Alright, then we get the recap of the downfall of my cousin, Tony D'Angelo, who gets you a pizza pie. Well, gets me one for $2. You get it for $12.50. Actually, you don't. You get it for $19.50. But, anyway. So we saw that, the whole thing with Tony D and Stacks turning on him. And now the so-called resident concierge, the fake lawyer that he is, Luca Crucifino, kind of in the middle of this fucking shit. We saw what happened last week, where Tony D and Luca like talk to each other, and Luca's like, you know, I'm good with you, Don, you know, blah blah blah, and then Don's like, yo, you gotta prove it to me, shit like that. So anyway, we see Tony D in the back waiting for Luca. Luca finally comes and says, hey, it took you so long, and then he's on his phone. I bet with Stacks. Fucking idiot. Or maybe with Rizzo, who knows. So anyway, he's like, I'll see you in the ring. So, alright, so they go to the ring. Tony is pissed. And he says, as the Don, you have to be ready for everything, no matter what. That's true for any Italian mafia boss. That's what got him in trouble with Stacks. But now he wants to talk to Luca right here, right now. So get your ass out here, you fake lawyer. So the fake lawyer comes out. By the way, Luca, his name is Luca. He lives on the second floor. He might live downstairs from you. Big ups to Suzanne Vega, the legend. I don't know if she's in the Hall of Fame, but she should be. Anyway, so Luca wants to know, this is what we're doing here. We're airing our dirty laundry. Tony D asks, hey, what happened with you and Stacks in the desert? Remember when they were in the desert and Stacks basically left him for dead? So Luca says that he was kidnapped and had his phone stolen. But then he had his phone there when he's talking in the back. I'm like, wait a minute. If I was Tony D, my cousin, you know, he's not here right now. He's busy. If I was Tony D, my cousin, I'm like, you lost your phone? Give me your fucking phone right now. I want to check your phone right here, right now. Let's do some searching on your phone to see if you have any weird stuff. Maybe you have some naked pictures of Rizzo. I don't know, but that's what I would have done. So he had his phone stolen, was kidnapped, placed in the back of a car, some shit like that. Kind of like, remember when the Yes Boys got put in the back of the car and they got sent up the river, and then we found them on SmackDown? Kit Wilson, I hope you're getting better, dude. Get strong. Ooh. Yes Boys. Alright, so Tony's like, why didn't you attack Stacks at Battleground? So Luca's like, well, I didn't do it because I didn't know what to do. Bullshit. So Tony flat out asks him, whose side are you on? Are you on my side or you with Stacks? But before he can answer, guess who comes out? Stacks with a couple of goons. And one of them looked very familiar, but it wasn't him, obviously. But I thought it was Vinny Pacifico, my good buddy, but that wasn't him. He looked bigger than him, too. But anyway. So Stacks talks about Tony not trusting Luca and how Luca knows what to do next. So then they surround the ring. Well, they kind of get on the apron and then get in the ring. And then Stacks gets in the ring with Tony and Luca. They fight him off, but it's basically a 4-on-2. And then I think Tony D had Stacks was like behind Tony or something like that. And Luca goes to swing at Stacks, but oops! He hits Tony D. And Stacks like, ah! I love it when a plan comes together. Smithers. So yeah, so more of this. Can Tony D trust anybody? Well, you know you can trust me, cuz. You know you can. Us Italians, we gotta stay together, goddammit. I don't know about Rizzo, I think Rizzo's a rat too, but Luca is definitely a rat fink. And he needs to get taken out. So I'm hoping Tony D, my cuz, whacks Luca Crucifino. Gets him out of here. But we'll see what happens with that on the program next week. With Stacks, later on we found out from Ava Raine that Stacks has a match with Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyway, then we go to AJ Francis, Flop Dollar. He says Casey Navarro is injured, can't wrestle in the six-man tag team match. But then we see Wes Lee and his group, Tariq Igve and Tyson DuPont, known as High Rise. They come in, and Wesley's like, well, I know, I'm good friends with, I'm TNA through and through with shit like that. He's like, I'll take his place. And then Trick's like, okay, you're in. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, we go, it's lecture time, so we go to Chase. So we go to the classroom with another exciting lecture from Mr. Chase, Andre Chase. He's talking about, students here at Chase U, we have to adapt to anything. And then we see Kale's like open a book and look like trigonometry or something. Like, what is this? And Kale's like, he's writing things down. And he's like, Mr. Chase. And then Mr. Chase's like, shut up. I'm like, put your hand down, sir. And then he does it like 3 times. And then Andre Chase says, you need to fucking adjust! Stop fucking around! And then Dix is like, oh, really? So he takes his books, takes his backpack, he goes to leave, and then Araya Connors, his good buddy, says, that was low there, Mr. Chase. And then they go to Booker T, he's like, Booker T's like, oh, no, nobody cares about here, man, or some shit. He was like going off, like, what the hell, Booker T? You okay? Oh, yeah, man. Okay. Alright, so we got that. Nobody cares. Alright, then we see the, what's been going on with Ethan Page lately, what happened with, Absolute Ricky Starks. That situation's still going on. And then the Vanity Project come in, without a certain, woman. Where is Zeta Steele? And not my bedroom. I know, I love Zeta. I've known her for years. I've known her when she was in another company around the New York area. Former women's champion. One of the, was she the longest? No, oh, no, she was one of the longest women's champions in that company's history. That got beat out by a certain girl named Jade, but not that Jade Cargill, not Jade Cargill, some other chick named Jade, who now wrestles in, I think, Florida. I don't know what she does now. Nice ripoff for using Cream on Steam. We all know Matt Tremont, the legend that he is, and I met him too. Uses Separate Ways by the great band Journey. But, you know, this chick Jade, who was the former women's champion, used that. You know, she was the, basically the boss's, not the boss's daughter, but the boss's darling. She was like, never lose. Felt like Nikki Bella, you know. But less sluttier. Which we all know Nikki Bella's a slut. So. But I digress on that. So anyway, Ethan Page is there with the Vanity Project. Drake Jackson, the Evolved Champion, was there too. So he's there. They're there. They congratulate Ethan for hurting Ricky Starks. And then, out of nowhere, Ricky Starks comes in. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. We're going to start a fight. So he tells Ethan, I'm medically clear, because he had that throat injury. Remember that about a week or two ago. So he's like, I'm all clear for next week, so I want my title shot. So then the Vanity Project basically laugh at him, and they go to leave, I think, with Ethan. And then Ashanti the Adonis, I'm like, what are you doing there? He basically mocks Ricky Starks, and then we get a match coming out of that next week. Maybe next time, Ashanti, shut your mouth, you fake pimp. Pimpin' ain't easy. Okay. That sounded really off, I'm sorry. But, pimpin' ain't easy. Like that goes. Alright, after that, we go to Catch Point. Catch Point 3.1. We have my girl, Maddie Winkowski. She's there with Tavion Heights and Bouncy Javon Evans. And, Maddie hasn't talked to Mr. Rico-san Charlie Dempsey in a while. So Tavion, apparently wants out of the team, like, Baby Orton, Mr. Miles Uncombe Ozzy Osbourne did. He won the match. Now he beat Mr. Dempsey, and now he's out on his own to do whatever he wants. Probably, well, besides bagging Stephanie Ricoeur, you bastard. Speaking of banging, Mercedes Moné is now dating the Beast Mortos? What? Huh? What? What are you missing? She's dating that guy? I guess beauty does conquer the beast. Hey, if Mercedes is happy getting banged by a beast like Mortis, go ahead. I wonder if he keeps the mask on during sex. I wonder if all luchadors do that in Mexico. I assume they don't, but... somebody wearing a mask. Oh, I'm going to give it to USA Battle! You know. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I'm not going to get letters now. I don't care. Anyway, so Tavion wants out of Catch Point 3.1. So Bouncy says, yeah, you should get out of here. Go on your own. You know, like Miles did. So then, Mr. Ego's son finally comes in. He says, hey, Tavion, if you want out, you can fight your boy Javon next week. So Javon's like, I'm ready. You ready? Let's go. Let's do it. Or like Paul Stanley would say, Paul? Get in here, Paul. Say your line. Whoa! Not that line. Your line. Oh, that line. Let's do it. Yeah, pretty much. Paul Stanley, ladies and gentlemen. Great guy. Hall of Famer. Alright, so we got that match next week. Bouncy versus Tavion Heights, and if Tavion Heights wins, he is free from Catch Point 3.1. So I guess they're pretty much going to break up everybody. That whole team is going to break up, which sucks. What are you going to do? Alright, then we see Blake Monroe getting pictures taken of her by the simpy fake photographers they have. Alright, then we get to the six-man tag. Elijah, Yoshiki Inamura, and Josh Briggs taking on AJ Francis, Wesley, and Trick Woody. Casey Navarro at ringside, along with Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe. It was a pretty good match. Then it kind of got really weird. Everybody was on the floor except for Flop Dollar. And then it was like, oh no, he's not going to do a flippy flop, right? He goes to do it, and he's like, no, not going to do it. So that was kind of funny. I like that. But anyway, we get near the end. Josh Briggs comes in to clean house, followed by Elijah unloading on Trick in the corner. And then all 6 men are in the ring. And Wesley hits Trick with a oops by accident, which led to the legend Inamura shaking the ropes like he's the Ultimate Warrior. And then he does an Eddie Guerrero frog splash essay. 1, 2, 3. They get the faces get the win in 11 minutes. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. So now I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. Got some title shots coming up for Mr. Inamura and Mr. Briggs. We'll talk about in a minute. Alright, then we see Sol LaRuca, the resident surfer girl, the women's North American champion, and her good friend Delta. They're ready for Delta's match with Izzy Dame, Bookie Hogan 2.0. And then the creepy girl, Tatum Paxley, starting to follow them like a stalker. Creepy. We get that. Alright, then we go to Ava Rain's office. She's there with Stevie Turner, the Evolve GM, and the guy that is not part of TNA anymore. He's back in NXT. Robbie E. Robert Stone, whatever you want to call him. They're there. Luca Crucifino and Tony D are outside arguing. I mean, Ava here's like, what is that noise? She opens the door, hears them arguing. She's like, get in here! So Tony wants Luca to face Stacks next week. But Ava says, well, can't do that. Tony's like, why? Ava's like, well, Stacks is getting a Heritage Cup shot. And he said, and then she says, Stacks Consigliere already signed off on the match. And then Tony's like, you son of a bitch! Or was it Luca? The plot thickens with this fucking feud. So we got Stacks and Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup next week. And we'll move on from that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so I gave that little segment 3 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Eliminator number 3, Delta versus Izzy Dame, with the resident surfer girl, Sol LaRuca, and the rest of the Culling, Sean Spears and Nico there. And it was a decent match. Delta tried for the German suplex. Couldn't get it at first, but she finally hits it near the end. And it looked like she was going to put Izzy away. But then we see from behind, Tatum Paxley grabs Sol LaRuca and tries to hug her from behind, or maybe do something else from behind. Don't go that way. But anyway. Then Sol's like, you crazy bitch! And that distracts Delta, who turns around right into Sky High by her good buddy D'Lo. I can't do his thing because of my neck, but anyway. So she hits Sky High, goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3. A little bit of a shocking win for Izzy Dame as she pins Delta. I thought Delta was going to go in there into the Fatal 4-Way pretty easily, but Izzy Dame goes in. So now we have Jada, Izzy, and who else? And Lash Legend. So we got that. Alright, decent match. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the back, like I said, with Briggs and Inamura. So Josh Briggs says, hey, you should get a TNA title shot since you pinned Trick Willie. But then Inamura's like, no, Mr. Briggs-son, you get the shot. I will go after Oba, the NXT title. And then Briggs like, that's a pretty goddamn deal. Yeah. Alright, yeah. Briggs gets beat up gets his butt kicked by Trick Willie. He ain't gonna win the title. Inamura's gonna get murdered by Oba. I mean, you need challengers, but these guys? I don't know, guys. I don't know. By the way, quick story. My thing is still there. my tooth. I did go to the dentist today. Basically, they looked at it. I have to get the tooth pulled out, but I'm getting a second opinion, so I'm going to another dentist that I know, so. But we'll see what happens with that. Extraction isn't fun, because, they put you to sleep tonight. They put you to sleep. I had teeth, I think on this side taken out, and I got the anesthesia. No, I think it was on this side or this side, I forget what side. They put the anesthesia in me, it's supposed to knock me the fuck out, but as the anesthesia's in me, I'm still half awake, and next thing you know, they're like, I'm like, oh! And then I fell asleep. I get up afterwards, still in a lot of pain, in my mouth, like, forget it. Like I got punched with a tire iron. And I get up, and I'm holding my mouth and shit. And I went to the doctor, the surgeon who did it, and I'm like, you fucker! I was half awake when you pulled my tooth out, by the way. Oh, why didn't you tell us? I'm like, I'm gonna tell you I'm falling asleep. Why don't you just wait till I fell asleep instead of yanking my fucking teeth out? Fucker. So, yeah, I'll probably I might have to make an appointment to get my tooth extracted, and then make another appointment and probably get a partial, get something. Because I have partials over here, and I have partials over here, so I might need another one here. I really wanted a cap, because the cap broke. That's why the tooth's like that. It was a broken tooth, and I put a cap in it, but then the cap broke. So, but I am gonna get it fixed, so I'll look nice and sexy for all you ladies out there pretty soon. Not that I'm sexy now, but I'm getting it done. So, hopefully in the next couple weeks to a month or so, I'll have a brand new grill. Not like a rapper grill, you know what I mean? Imagine me having that, that'd be weird. Alright, move on with that. Alright, so Josh Briggs faces Trick Willie for the TNA title, and Inamura will probably die against Oba Derula Femi. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we go to the final women's eliminator match. We have Luna Faisese. Oh yes, caliente, shake them hips, mommy. Oh yes. She comes out looking great, Puerto Ricana. She takes on Big Mama Pump, Jordynne Grace. It was a decent match. Back and forth they went. Lola puts Jordynne in the corner, and she's like, "Hey, mommy, boot your mommy, bendeja," shake their ass, and boom, right in the face with that sexy hip attack in the corner. Made me hard. But anyway, we're getting to the end. Jordynne goes for the Vader bomb. He gets kind of into a triangle choke from Lola, but Jordynne has to powerbomb her way out of that. She tries to go for the Juggernaut driver. It gets blocked, so Jordynne takes Lola up top, where Lola pulls Jordynne down by the arm for a near fall. Ow. And then Jordynne gets back up and hits a weird-looking suplex, like a head-arm, head-arm Tazplex, basically. She hits that, picks her back up, hits the Juggernaut driver. 1, 2, 3. Sadly, Jordynne Grace gets to win, and then it rounds out our fatal 4-way for next week. So we got Jordynne Grace, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, and Jada Parker. So we have that. Should be a good match. I'm gonna have to go with Jordynne here. I think it's the logical choice. I would love for Lash to get the shot, but Jada as well. I just don't think Izzy would be Izzy versus JC. No. I think Evolution screams Jordynne Grace, JC Jane, and I think Jordynne Grace will become the new NXT Women's Champion. We've been saying that for months, but finally it'll happen. So we get that. Alright, so that match was over. Match was kind of sloppy, so I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Yeah. Alright, so like I said again, it's Jada versus Lash versus Izzy versus Jordan for the title shot. And then we recap all the matches. Alright, then we go to the back. Delta is screaming at Tatum Paxley. Says, "Why are you here? Why did you do that?" And then Izzy Dame just walks in and basically tells Tatum that Delta and Sol Ruka aren't her real friends anyway. So like, she trying to join up with the cuckling? I don't know, don't care. And then she's like, "Well, I wouldn't leave you out of my TikTok videos either." Okay. Don't care about that. We move on. Alright, then we find out that Noam Dar is ready to defend the Heritage Cup against Stacks next week. That should be a good match. We move on. Alright, then we get to the final segment of the evening. Ava Rain's in the ring. We got a table. You know what that means. Somebody's got to go through that table. Got a contract signing. So, Blake Monroe comes out in her I Dream of Jeannie-like entrance with the cartoons and everything. Pretty good theme. Not a great theme, but pretty good theme. I would have loved to have the I Dream of Jeannie theme, but you know that's a lot of money. That's the metal version, by the way. So Blake comes out, still looking amazing in that black mini skirt. So she comes out and says, "I've been waiting to jump into bed with the talent in that locker room." I bet she should jump into bed with me. And then bring in Mina Shirakawa, too. Hi, Mina! Yeah. So the spotlight is on her now. She says, "The glamour is here, baby," in NXT. So she signs a contract with her own pen that she got from her boot. Then again, who knows where that pen was. Alright, so Fatal Influence comes out. The NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne. Former woman, Fallon, don't call her, the Dawn Henley, and my girl, I love her so much, Jasmine Nix. They all come out. They don't like her. Jacy calls her the new flavor of the month. And then Fallon says something which ignited a big 3-on-1 brawl, which led to Blake Monroe getting sent through that table. And then pretty much that's it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I would assume now that maybe Jacy retains that Evolution, and then maybe as we go into August, which I think is Heat Wave, maybe we get Blake Monroe versus Jacy Jayne 1-on-1 for the title. But then again, there might be some chicanery with that. I don't know. I still think Mariah May will win that title and hold it for a very long time. But when she gets it, I don't know. That's that. Alright, then we run down next week's show with the matches, and then we wrap it all up. We fade to black, and that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. That's my NXT review. Thank you all for watching. It was a pretty good show. I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of the show down below in the comments section. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. And we'll be on the road to 850 subscribers and hopefully off to 900 subscribers by the time the summer ends, sometime in mid-September. But we'll see what happens with that. So please subscribe, please leave a comment, but don't leave stupid comments. You'll get blocked, sent to the Shadow Realm. Satan will eat your soul. That's what's going to happen. That's all I got to say about that. You don't like it? Tough shit. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. Got some things to do before we get to AEW Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico tonight. 2-hour show. Should be, well, actually 2.5-hour show tonight. Extra half hour. With probably an overrun, so it's probably like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Tony Khan. So we'll see what happens with that. Should be a pretty decent show. And we're still, a couple weeks away from All In. So lots of things happening tonight on AEW television. Probably be talking about that, like I said, tomorrow, because I want to do my Raw review later tonight. And we'll see what happens later tonight as well. So I'm going to definitely do the Raw review later tonight. And then maybe if I get time, do the AEW, do the Moxley rant I wanted to do, the cameraman suing Moxley and AEW for that shit. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Gonna have something to eat because I am hungry. So I'm gonna have my late lunch, and then later on I'm gonna have my late dinner. And that's pretty much it. But thank you for watching. But until next time, if you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you motherfuckers. Fuck you, man. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.